Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. We have had some interesting issues maybe. First problem we had was with the vacuum tanker. The valve there has broken. -7 temperatures with the ice has done that. That's not good. What else have we been doing? We have been down to the island, and down the island is where we get all the Swedes from. So we had the bucket filled up with Swedes last night. Roberty did about 3 wheelbarrowfuls, topping and tailing. I've done a wheelbarrow full of that this morning, and it's a bit dangerous. I have come close to losing a couple of digits. I really could do with a steel glove, really. You know, one of them chainmail ones that chefs have. Make me feel a bit safer in myself, because it's very easy to get complacent and get tired and fed up with the job and slight lapse in concentration maybe. Holding a hand in the wrong place, something slips, I'm not sure. Anyway, I had enough of that, so I went and decided to play with the John Deere, but I think I'll just show you, and this is what we need help on. So that's the pile from 4 wheelbarrowfuls. That's the remains of the bucket that we got full of Swedes when you first saw us testing the potato lifter out. How on earth do we store all them? Can they go in that steel shed? Do they need to go in some sort of clamp? Are they best just left in the ground? I have no idea. Roberty has no idea. We've asked a few people local, and they've said mixed opinion, store them in the ground, bury them in a clamp. Like, if you're burying them in a clamp, you may as well just leave them in the ground, because they're covered by dirt in the ground anyway. So yes, if anybody has experience with Swedes and how best to store them until we use them, because we are starting to use them now, but obviously that trailer full is going to last us quite a long time, so we do need help. Sheepies now, these are the pregnant ewes, are all in flood fields. So the field, the other side of the tree line down there between the 2 sets of trees, is the island field, because there's water on all sides of it, and that's where we're lifting the Swedes from. Now what I want to know is, with our Johnson's potato lifter, it seems to be bringing up a lot of mud, yeah, and as you can see from here, it's that wet that the mud's clinging to the sides, it's clogging up the webs, it's stuck on the lifting, I don't know what you call a share for lifting on that really, but the mud sticks to it. So what I thought was, maybe if I go in less deep, so instead of being whatever this was originally set to, because we haven't changed the depth wheels on it, if I go in shallower with it, will it lift less soil and leave the Swedes cleaner to pick? But the problem was, when I went in less deep, or went in shallower, all that happened was, in here all bulldozed up till the dirt was up here, and if we cleared that out and then went into full depth again up to the stop of the depth wheels, it kind of lifted, like, you know, you get a bit of turf and you can roll it up and then unroll it, and it's just like a sod, so it travels up and through. When it was in deep, it was just pushing dirt through up onto the conveyor, onto the chain web, but when it was in shallow, all it seemed to be doing was just bulldozing in front. Now, is that because ground conditions are too wet, but we have no control over that because we need to be lifting at the moment? Is it wrong soil type? Again, we don't have any control over that. For the people that have used them, how do we make it lift less dirt but not bulldoze? Because we're really struggling. It's a lot cleaner, and potentially, I don't know if it's easier or not, to lift the Swedes, you know, just pull them up by hand it's harder going in terms of, you know, the roots are holding them in the ground, but at the same point, we're not having the volume of dirt to actually get the Swedes out, because what's happening is the Swedes are falling off and then the dirt's falling over the top of the Swedes, and you've got to then go kicking in the dirt to find the Swedes again to pick them up. So we're having some real issues with that at the moment, and yeah, we do really need some help on it. If anyone can help us, that'd be great. We would really appreciate it. So sheepies are going to be in there for probably another 7 to 10 days, and then they'll be coming in for lambing then. And then last year's lambs will go onto this field. They are getting fed every day as well, so they're having something to supplement the grass, which is good. Don't want to give them too much because we don't want the lambs to be too big and give problems lambing. And then last year's lambs will come into here. They'll eat what's left on the field because they've only been on there yesterday and today. Cows are getting TB tested tomorrow, so later on tonight we'll give them all a good clean out. We'll set all the gates up and everything ready to make TB testing easier for the vet. The Major this time had the A-frame on the front. It's the A-frame that I use on the yard scraper there. I was convinced, purely by how light it was on the front, that I had that on last time, but looking back at the video we're testing the lift there was a fork hanging on there, so we never had the A-frame on last time. But even with that A-frame on, and that's a heavy duty A-frame, the front wheels were still lifting over the smallest of bumps, and coming up the hill the whole way was just on the independent brakes to try and keep it straight. So I was looking at getting a 9-hole drawbar or something similar to go through the lower links and put a couple of pins in, hang a couple of weights in the middle of that to just give me a bit more front end stability and drivability, because the set of weights we've got is already on a 3-point linkage, but I don't really want to be taking 400 kilos off of a set of weights just so I can run with 100 kilos on the front of this on an A-frame or on the linkage. So I thought 9-hole drawbar might be a sensible thing. Unfortunately, the one I bought years ago doesn't fit Cat 2 width for standard, so like 781mm centres. So I'm in a dilemma. Do I get an A-frame and make a frame to take some of the John Deere weights that I'm not using, because the 6610's only running with 300 kilos on it? Other news, grab handles are here now. They are back from powder coating. They were taken off with the mirrors and the beacon brackets, which should be up there. The beacon brackets are waiting for a warmer day because I've had them all powder coated black. It was just easier for the powder coaters. I spoke to them originally about doing John Deere green, and they said they could do green for John Deere. And then when I went there and said, oh, this is like the split point where the black stops and the green starts, they said they can't powder coat 2 different colours on the same piece because it causes a melting line or something where one lot of powder stops and the next lot of powder starts, because you have to do one colour, bake it, and then mask up, do the second colour, bake it, and then where the line is, because they have to get it hot enough to melt the powder for it to cure, then what they did in the first baking starts running or something. They said better off just Scotch Brighting it, painting it with wet paint, which is what I'm going to do. So, for those who saw the llama video, what did we get? We got these little brackets, and they are the brackets for the shelf. So you can put stuff on the shelf and it doesn't slide forwards under your feet down here, or it, oh gosh, it's rocking everywhere. Sorry about that. So in the llama video we showed you these brackets here. Now they are, as you can see, they go on the shelf in the John Deere, and the idea of these is it stops stuff sliding forwards, down onto your feet, under your feet, under the pedals, and potentially into the window. So there's a couple of companies now that are making these. I did really have fancies of some that were made by a different company, but I'm not a big fan of companies having their logo laser cut into everything. It's not me, it's not like how I want my thing. So these were available at Llama, which we bought. I haven't bothered taking the like cellophane off, or whatever it is, you know, the plasticky film. Haven't bothered taking that off yet. Don't really like the blingy stainless look too much, but these ones are stainless and they will save stuff going into the window, which is good. So it's cheaper to buy them than have to buy a new window, I guess. And we started having a bit of a play with the dual wheels, getting the tyres off and getting the tyres changed. So I'll show you what I'm doing now with them. Now Robertie's been a bit ill today, so he's been in bed all morning and he's been, is it consoling himself on Facebook Marketplace? And I've seen a trailer like this, but it's one that Scissor lifts up and then tips. And I believe Petite used to make them, and I don't know who else made them, but has anyone had any experience with them scissor lift trailers? How careful do you have to be if the ground isn't perfectly level? And when the ground is level, how stable are they? Now, I'm aware that all the bushes in the scissor linkage wear, and you probably have to repin it. It needs a new floor and sides are ropey, but basically being able to put logs in it and then tip logs into the trailer we use to store the logs till we split them would be a big advantage to us. And it is in a shed, it's on solid ground, so stability shouldn't be an issue. What might be more of an issue is height in the shed, and also do they have to be fully extended before you tip them, or can you just like lift the scissor, lift half the height just to get to the height you want and then tip it from there. This is one of the dual wheels. It's the Betterson 5 lug star pattern. The corrosion in here is quite bad, to be honest, and it's caused a bit of a pain in the bum to break the bead, as you can see here. Hammer, chisel, crowbars, bead breaker, impact gun to do it. Now, traditionally, it is better to have the wheel on a machine when you remove the tyre. Saves the wheel wandering anywhere, makes it a lot easier. You can get a lot more leverage on purchase on it. But the wheels and the tractor that these wheels are going on is 65 miles away, so it's not really an option. So we have an idea. If we break the beads both sides and then put the wheel on the ramp like this, then what we can do is have the ramp down, pop the top bead. As you can see, we've now lifted the ramp up, which has lifted the tyre up to make it hopefully easier to get the second bead over the top, which is basically what I need to do now. And I have brought my tyre levers this time. I have come prepared. I have big tyre levers, not little car tyre levers, and also, don't know where I put it, I'm using bale spikes as well, because I've only got 2 tyre levers and 4 would be ideal. So yeah, see if we can pop the bead over the second now. Once I get it started, I'll probably lift the ramp and hopefully that'll help me pop it up and over. But yeah, I'll see how this one goes. Probably time lapse the other one so you can see what I'm doing. And then it's back to topping and tailing Swedes. And if anyone knows a quicker way of topping and tailing Swedes, please do let me know, because it's a bit demoralising. It really is. rims. Yeah, not easy to do when you don't have anything to attach the rim to stop it moving. Kind of lose all your leverage and forces, etc. And it was a bit of a fight, but the next job will be to clean all this corrosion off of here. It is quite heavy, unfortunately, but there's plenty of life left in the rims, so we'll get that all cleaned off with an air hammer or something similar, hopefully. Then we'll do a check of the tubes, make sure they're still okay to reuse, and we'll get the replacement tyres on. So thanks for watching this little video, and we'll see you all again soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So we'll pick the wheels back up when the hydrovane's up and running and when the needle scaler's here. The needle scaler might work off the normal compressor, not sure yet, but yeah, we'll pick the wheels back up when that arrives.